this panel party started. It's going to be fun. So, I wrote a couple of years ago a narrative history of video games called All Your Base Are Belong to Us. How 50 years of video games conquered pop culture. And it was a subject of 200 interviews. And I think David is in there as well. And so on the panel, we obviously have some illustrious folks indeed to talk about Beyond Two Souls. And next to me is Ellen Page, who won our hearts as the Take No BS teen in Juno, for which she was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Actress. And we know her from Inception and other fine films, and we'll soon see her with Alexander Skarsgård and Patricia Clarkson in the terrorism drama The East. And then there's David Cage, the story-loving CEO and founder of Quantic Dream. The last game from his studio in Paris was Heavy Rain, dark. An awesome, dark, creepy, frightening game about murder and serial killing. And we first met Kadeem Hardison as Dwayne Wayne in A Different World. We've seen him in everything from House to Parenthood, and he's directed and starred in a new film called The Dark Party, and boy, does he love games.
Yes.
And we've seen Eric Winter in everything from The Mentalist to Good Christian Bitches. And I'm so glad you were in there to say Good Christian Bitches. We'll see him in Fire with Fire with Bruce Willis and Rosario Dawson very soon. And what intrigued Jeff Gilmore and me when we started to talk about games at the festival is story. We always get together and talk story for a fairly long time, and then we talk games for a while. And last month I wrote a long feature for the New York Times about BioShock Infinite, and I said that certain games, including David's games, are getting far better when it comes to a deep narrative that's also cinematic. So David, we just saw some very dramatic dialogue and moving scenes that certainly induced empathy from me. And in your Paris office, I think there are signs that speak about the importance of feeling and empathy when playing the game and when working on the game. So how important is it for us to care about Jodie Holmes, Alice?
Oh, it's very important. It's the heart of the game. It's really the story of her life. It's a journey in someone's life. And we'll see how when she's, as I said, when she's a kid, at different moments, happy and sad in her life. And yeah, just be with her and share her life. It's very important, I think, to storytelling in games. We saw that with Heavy Rain, because in Heavy Rain, usually the figure that we have in the industry for people starting a game and finishing it is about 20%. So it's only 20% of the people starting a game who see the end of it. But for Heavy Rain, for example, that was really story-driven, this figure was 75%. So because people wanted to see the end, they wanted to know what would happen next, and all this was very important. So storytelling, I think, is something absolutely key in interacting.
Ellen, what made you want to play the role of Jodie Holmes? Was part of it the story that you...
Absolutely. I mean, when it first came as, an opportunity from David and Guillaume and everyone at Quantic Dream, I didn't know how to wrap my head around it. I was like, what does it mean to be in a video game? I had no concept. I hadn't really even played video games in like 10 years. I sort of stopped at like Crash Bandicoot. So, great game. And then it, completely intrigued me. And then I got Heavy Rain and was just completely blown away. I mean, I had such limited gaming experience in that time that, the technology blew me away. And then to see what was happening, this combination of, interactive gameplay with a cinematic scope of narrative, it was fascinating. And then to sit down with David and have him explain to me this female protagonist and this journey that she goes on, I just was completely blown away and just had gratitude for alone creating a character like that. And then to have the opportunity to do that and have an experience like this, which is just like unlike anything I've done, just because of motion capture and shooting a 2,000-page script, etc. It was amazing.
Yeah, we'll get into it. But it is an awesome independent one character.
Absolutely.
We've packed this panel with clips, and the first one we want to show features Ellen singing, and I actually, when I saw it in Paris, I missed it up. I didn't quite shed a tear, but I missed it up, and it reminded me of back in the day on the Lower East Side when a lot of my friends were sitting on the street singing songs, and everyone thought they would be famous one day, and it just kind of got me. So we have that clip, and if we could just show it, because it shows a bit about the game-making technology as well. You want to talk a little? I hate to talk over it, because I really love
I'm sorry I have to talk over it. But first of all, it's my guitar, okay?
I want that guitar.
And it's something that was totally incidental, actually, because we were working with Ellen, and I just had my guitar there, and then started singing, and just asked, hey, wait a minute, do you think you could do it in motion capture? And Ellen didn't hesitate 1 second. She said, yeah, let's go, let's do it. It was done pretty much in 1 take. So that's for the little story. But we see in the background, this is the motion capture set. It's solely empty, as you can see. You see these little markers on the face of Ellen, and the fingers, and on the body. This is performance capture. We capture the movements of these little shiny balls, and this is how we get the animation.